4-4.
It's 4-4. It's 4-4. Morning, Margaret. How are you? Sorry, I have all my things around.
That's all right. Just set mine. That one works.
Ridiculous. We're not going to practice any of them. I'll not.
Devlin.
I got you. Don't worry.
Please sit up here with us. Huh? But I'm a worship associate. I'm in charge of this service. Do you mind sitting up here? Okay.
You want to count off 3?
Yeah, I can. I think it doesn't start out with like
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. You can be amazing. You can be. It's perfect.
It doesn't matter. She's already.
Just count it off and we'll
If
start
she
at the
doesn't
same
want to sit
time.
up front,
Not yet. Not yet.
it's the sort of thing where I think, especially since the camera is
We got time.
always facing right here, I really get why someone would want to sit up here all the time.
Oh,
Even when I'm up on choir, I just know that the camera's always looking right at me.
actually, where's the audience?
Give it like.
Okay, I haven't watched the live stream.
Give it like another minute, maybe. Just people are still coming in. Not at all.
we'll make it work. I always do somehow. I think Fran would like to hear a little bit just to make sure we got the
I mean, Ant's not up front.
That's true.
And at the end, we're going to do the, I just want to see you 4 times and it on the board.
I'll nod at you. I don't know how many times it is.
It says 4. And that's what it is.
So that
Okay,
necessarily
that's probably right.
would have to sit up front if they don't want to.
I'll probably use that 49.
But I just want to see you.
Okay, so
Okay.
And it just goes faster if you don't have to wait for somebody to walk in.
okay, we can probably go ahead. You can be amazing. You can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast, be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you way the words do when they settle beneath the skin. Kept on the inside in no sunlight, sometimes a shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. see you. I just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Coble, which I have to tell you out loud because I can locate and wear my name tag approximately 10 Sundays per year. And somehow I serve as president-elect on the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. Thanks, Ron. We are glad you are all here today. At UUCS, we strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across all of our differences. This is a welcoming congregation where we are all welcome just the way we are. If you're visiting this morning, we'd love to meet with you. Visitor cards may be found in the pocket on the back of the chair in front of you. Please feel welcome to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so that we can connect with you. Or if you want to come in and out like a shadow, you can do that as well. There is always a lot going on in the life of this congregation. You will find the August Connect in the lobby and a one-page weekly calendar in your order of service. Let me highlight just a couple of announcements this morning. Our weekly meditation will resume on Wednesday, September 3rd at 5:30 p.m. in the sanctuary. All are welcome to join us for a time of silence, music, and reflection. Sunday, September 7th is going to be a busy day here at the UUCS. At 10 o'clock a.m., we will have our Welcome Back Flat Chalice Party, so please bring your flat chalice with you. Scott will be back with us following his sabbatical, and we will celebrate water communion during the service. After the service, please head downstairs to Wild Hall for our engagement fair. This is a once-a-year event where you will be able to learn about the ways to get involved in the life of this congregation. Please bring your favorite finger foods with you for a cutlery-free potluck. Go ahead and put this date on your calendars and make sure you plan to be here. And if you are considering joining the congregation here at the UUCS, the Path to Membership class is the place to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and our congregation. The next class will be held on Sunday, September 14th, starting at 12:30 p.m. in Wild Hall. Lunch will be served, childcare will be available. A sign-up sheet is already on the whiteboard out in the foyer beside the sanctuary. You may find the online registration form in the happenings or on our website under the Welcome tab under Members, Friends, and Visitors. You can also send an email to membership@uucs.org. That's all for board announcements this morning. Thank you for making this a place of kindness, love, and care.
Good morning. My name is Davlin Athena, and I am going to read for the lighting of the chalice. Quotes are from The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The truth casts a shadow over the kitchen. People like us in situations like this become hashtags, but they rarely get justice. I think we all wait for that one time, though, that one time when it ends right. That's from chapter 5. Sometimes you can do everything right and things will still go wrong. The key is to never stop doing right. That's the problem. We let people say stuff like that and they report it and it becomes truth. Strangers dictate our narrative. What's the point of having a voice if you're going to be silent in the moments you shouldn't be?
Please join us for hymn number 6. Good morning, all you lovely, lovely people. Good to see you here today. In our congregation, we have many well-loved traditions, one of which is the Rippling Bowl, where we silently share our joys and concerns by placing a stone or shell in the bowl. We hope that the ripples will go out to the universe and lessen our sorrows and/or amplify our gratitude for our joys. I will place one of each in the water for those of you participating virtually. Please come to the Rippling Bowl. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Margaret Schmidt, and I'm the worship associate for today. Ours is a non-creedal church, not because we have no beliefs, but because we will not be restrained in our beliefs and search for spirituality. Therefore, each week we covenant with each other using a statement of intention that was created by us. Please join me. With courage we say, we are a people of faith and hope. Together we covenant to strive to become our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of love beyond belief. We value the warmth of community that we freely create in this place. Part of this is welcoming our friends and visitors. To some, it may seem like chaos, but after you have been attending for a while, it will feel friendly and valuable. Please respect the body language of the people you greet and return to your seats when the music starts. Join the chaos. So we were slow to start and slow to stop. Ours is a church of conscience. We give freely of our time, talent, and treasures to support our congregation and other organizations that work diligently towards making the world a better place. Each month, we choose a different organization to receive our Share the Plate donations. Our recipient for August is CAMS Foundation, an organization in Ghana. All gifts earmarked for Share the Plate and half of undesignated offerings will go to this organization. Please give generously.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all these things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. Oh, my power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends, I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep, say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home. There's a fire burning in my bones. I still believe, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. Oh, my power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. Oh, my power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me.
If you'll join me in silence. Now, the star-belly sneeches had bellies with stars. The plain belly sneeches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-belly sneeches would brag, "We're the best kind of sneech on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort. And whenever they met some when they were out walking, they'd hike right past on them without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. When the Starbelly Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while the plain belly Sneetches were moping and doping along on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles, I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you, I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars like a Starbelly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay your money and hop right aboard." So they clamored inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about, but the thing really worked. When the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start, "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst." "But now how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what, or the other way round?" Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who, that is perfectly true. But come with me, friends, do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. "We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and about again. Changing their stars every minute or two, they kept paying money. They kept running through. Until neither the plain nor the Starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. Then when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car of the beach. "They will never learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch." But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day, all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. Late last winter, the idea of a series on banned books began to develop in my mind. And while Sneetches has not been broadly banned, it has definitely been challenged. And while it is not specifically about race, it uses allegory to challenge systems of privilege and othering. It was one of the books that started my journey of looking into banned children's and youth books as an undergirding for this month's theme. I want to invite you to think back on your childhood. Maybe you remember a story that first made you feel seen. Or perhaps you remember a story that helped you see the world differently. Several times this month, we have talked about how stories are powerful, how they shape who we are, what we believe, and how we treat one another. And we've talked about how that is often the reason stories are banned and or challenged. Take, for instance, Dr. Seuss's The Sneetches. We have just heard the story. On the surface, it's a silly tale about yellow bird-like creatures with or without stars on their bellies. Some Sneetches strut around with stars, thinking they're superior, while the plain-bellied Sneetches are excluded, left out of games, ignored, or dismissed. Then, a character named Sylvester McMonkey McBean shows up, making a fortune by exploiting the Sneetches' obsession with who belongs and who doesn't. By the end, after much chaos, the Sneetches actually learn no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. At first glance, the Sneetches is whimsical. It seems silly. It's full of nonsense words and cartoon creatures. But beneath the rhymes is a sharp commentary on prejudice, superiority, and the human need to belong. It's also a fable about racism and about systems that thrive by dividing us. Systems and or people that profit from fear, division, separation, and difference. Mr. Rogers tells us, look for the helpers. You will always find people helping. This, however, is a reminder for us to look for the people or the systems that profit from that separation, because there are always those people too. Call those people and systems out. In the story, Sneetches with stars believe themselves superior to ones without. They exclude the starless Sneetches from picnics and parties. The message is clear. You are not one of us. That is also the message of racism. Racism uses the social construct of race to define who is part of the us and who is the inferior them. Even a third grader in Ohio caught the parallel to racial discrimination when the book was being read to his class a few years ago. A representative of that school district abruptly ended the reading when the student said, Sneetches with stars shunning Sneetches without stars sounded almost like what happened back then. He was referring to 1961 when the book was published. How people were treated like white people disrespected black people. That was some pretty serious clarity on his third grade part. This little story has been challenged and even banned in some schools. Why? Because it subtly, or not so subtly, talks about racism. Because it dares to suggest that difference is human-made, and that maybe, just maybe, we could unmake it. So you may be thinking, well, that's a cute story, but what does it have to do with us? Well, here's the thing. We live in a world full of stars upon thars. They may not look like stars on our belly, but they are just as real. They show up in skin color. zip codes, accents, clothing brands, education levels, immigration status, gender identity, and who we love. They show up in the systems that say, you belong, you don't, or even worse, you matter more than them. These stars are not always physical, but they still separate us, still exclude, still create hierarchies of human value. And just like in the story, there's often someone profiting from that hierarchy. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to name and resist these systems of superiority. We proclaim that every person has inherent worth and dignity, not because of their wealth or their whiteness or their gender conformity or anything else, but simply because they exist. We affirm that belonging is not earned, it just is. We all belong. No one should have to pass through a machine, literal or metaphorical, to be deemed worthy. Here at UUCS, we respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of a love beyond belief. This story helps us ask, where are the stars in our own lives? Who gets invited to the party and who is left out? What machines are we running people through, hoping they'll become more acceptable? What would it mean to live in a world where the stars don't matter anymore? Where we no longer sort people into categories of more or less worthy? Where identity and difference are celebrated, but never used to exclude? I believe that's the world we are working toward together. All month, we've been looking at banned or challenged children's and youth books. This week, we're looking at those that have been banned or challenged because they have racism as their theme. I've already talked some about the Sneetches, but I want to briefly look at 5 banned or challenged books that help us understand racism in America. Each one opens a different window, inviting us to see more clearly and to live more faithfully. So the Sneetches help us learn to see the system. It shows us that prejudice doesn't appear out of nowhere. It is created, reinforced, and profited from. Someone always benefits when we are divided against each other. The Sneetches needed to learn that their worth was not in stars or in status, but in their shared community. Isn't that the work we are called to do? To remember that every person, no matter what, carries inherent worth and dignity? Anti-Racist Baby is about starting from the beginning. It is a board book, bright colors, simple rhymes, designed for the very youngest readers. And yet this book has been banned. Why? Because it dares to suggest that children should learn the truth about racism. Because it teaches parents to raise their children to recognize injustice, to ask questions, to embrace equity. Some say kids are too young to learn about racism. But the truth is, children are never too young to experience racism. Children of color experience it in classrooms, in playgrounds, in the world all around them from the very beginning. So the question is not whether children will learn about race. The question is what they will learn about race. Whether they will learn lies or whether they will learn the truth, spoken with love and courage. Unitarian Universalism calls us to the latter. We do not hide the truth, but reveal it, even to the youngest among us. Raising anti-racist kids is a sacred responsibility. Justice must be part of formation from the very beginning. Jerry Craft's New Kid talks about what inclusion feels like and doesn't. It's a graphic novel that tells the story of Jordan Banks, a black middle schooler who enters a prestigious private school where he is one of the only students of color. The book is funny, it's smart, and it tells the truth about what it feels like to try to belong in a place that wasn't built for you. Jordan faces microaggressions. He's called the wrong name. Teachers and classmates make assumptions about him. None of it is violent, but it all adds up. It all says, you don't belong here the way you are, and that's why New Kid gets banned. It makes white readers uncomfortable to see how nice people can cause harm without meaning to. And isn't that the challenge for us too? To notice the small ways we exclude, to recognize the subtle systems that say, you can be here, but only if you change who you are. Many young people live between identities. Their full selves deserve space to grow. Unitarian Universalism says, you are enough, exactly as you are. You belong. But to live that truth, we must create communities where belonging is real, not conditional, not tokenizing, and not halfway. Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley's All American Boys helps us see about silence, allyship, and complicity. It tells a story from two perspectives. Rashad, a black teenager who is brutally beaten by a white police officer, and Quinn, a white classmate who witnesses the violence. The book asks, what do you do when you see injustice? What do you do when it comes from the very people and systems you thought you could trust? Quinn struggles. He doesn't want to betray the police officer who is a family friend. He doesn't want to make waves, but staying silent means siding with violence. And isn't that the question for us too? When we see racism in our schools, in our workplaces, even in congregations, do we stay quiet or do we speak? Neutrality is not neutral. Silence is a choice, and often it is complicity. It matters whose voices we amplify. Justice begins with listening to the silenced. As Unitarian Universalists, we are called to side with love, even when it costs us comfort, especially when it costs us comfort. This challenge isn't only about what stories are told, it's about who is allowed to tell them and who bears the consequences when they do. Ta-Nehisi Coates writes in his latest book, The Message, about Mary Wood, a teacher in Chapin, South Carolina. She had been forced to stop using his book, Between the World and Me, because it made some of her students, in their words, feel uncomfortable and ashamed to be Caucasian. She used this book in her AP English class, where her students were to write an argumentative essay for their exam, and this book was a resource to help them learn how to do that. Wood was fighting for her job in a school district that had long been conservative, but had ramped up those leanings during COVID. Coates shares, the district has long tilted conservative. During the first Trump years, it toppled. School board meetings were as much an open mic for reactionaries, conspiracy theorists, and attention seekers as they were for discussion of budgets and policies. The great enemy of Chapin was critical race theory. It was said that Lexington 5 School District had become a staging ground for educational warfare on CRT, a doctrine that was held responsible for anxiety, depression, and self-hatred that raised suicide rates and that made students ashamed to be white. Coates traveled to Chapin to meet and support Mary Wood, attending a school board meeting with her. He said the contentiousness of that meeting was evident as soon as he walked in the door. However, people had organized, and there was a large turnout of Mary's supporters at that particular school board meeting, speaking on her behalf and supporting her, when the meeting just a few weeks prior to that had parents lined up to demand she be fired. She wasn't fired. She returned the next year to teach, and she included Between the World and Me on her syllabus. Students were allowed to opt out of that assignment and complete a different one, but none did. In this story, the battleground wasn't just a classroom, it was the boundary that determines who is seen as fully human and who is still othered. In sharing the story of Mary Woods, Coates highlights the value of educators who dare to teach the truth, and the real spirit of censorship aimed not just at a book, but at dismantling the possibility of empathy and equality. And then finally, Angie Thomas's The Hate You Give talks about moving from pain to prophetic action. This book follows Star Carter, a 16-year-old black girl who witnesses her best friend being killed by a police officer. The novel traces her journey from grief to courage, from silence to speaking out. This book has been banned for its language, for its anger, and for its insistence on naming police violence. But what I hear in it is the voice of a prophet. Star says, what's the point of having a voice if you're going to be silent in those moments you shouldn't be? The prophets have always been banned. Prophets make people uncomfortable. They tell the truth when the truth is dangerous. The Hate You Give reminds us, anger can be sacred. Grief can be holy. Speaking out can be liberating. Telling the truth about injustice is holy work. We are called to listen to marginalized voices. So what do all these books teach us together? They remind us that racism is not just about individual prejudice, but about systems, about stars on bellies, about assumptions in classrooms, about silence that protects the powerful. They remind us that justice must begin early. It must be practiced daily. It must be told through stories that make us uncomfortable. And they remind us that our Unitarian Universalist principles are not abstractions. The inherent worth and dignity of every person. Justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. A free and responsible search for truth and meaning. These are not polite phrases. They are radical commitments. They demand that we not only read the books others would ban, but that we live the truths that those books carry. Each week, I have shared action items. You might be tired of hearing the same things, but they're important. And we've learned that you have to tell someone something 7 times before they take action on it, so we're not even halfway there yet. So what do? We read the banned books. We read them to our children, our grandchildren in our classrooms. We read them in our small groups. We read them in church. We speak out when others try to silence marginalized voices. We show up at school board meetings, at library hearings, at community gatherings. We make this congregation a place where no one's story is erased, where no child or youth feels invisible, where every person belongs. Because if we cannot be that community here, how will the world ever become that community out there? So to finish with the book we started with, the Sneetches finally learned no star, no status, no system of superiority can ever define our worth. May we learn that too.
There is more love somewhere. There is more.
The Extinguishing of the Chalice, from the book Anti-Racist Baby by Ibram X. Kendi. Anti-Racist Baby is raised to make society transform. Take these 9 steps to make equity a reality. Number 1, open your eyes to all skin colors. Number 2, use your words to talk about race. Number 3, point at policies as the problem, not people. Number 4, shout, there's nothing wrong with the people. 5, celebrate all our differences. 6, knock down the stack of cultural blocks. 7, confess when being racist. Number 8, grow to be an anti-racist. And number 9, believe we shall overcome racism.
May we learn that our worth is not in our stars upon theirs. May we raise children like anti-racist baby, curious, brave, loyal. May we listen to kids like Jordan and New Kid, who just wants to belong as themselves. May we refuse silence like Quinn and instead choose solidarity like Rashad. May we honor the grief and the courage of Star, who shows us that our voices matter. As Audre Lorde says, your silence will not protect you. And may we remember, the truth on the page is the truth in our lives. We cannot ban it. We can only live it. May it be so.